Hi there. Welcome to We Need to Talk, a new series about strengthening relationships through embracing, not avoiding difficult conversations. I'm your host, Dr. Jill Thorngren. I'm an executive coach and licensed psychotherapist. And what I continue to learn is that we all need to talk more, not less, whether we're at home, in the office, or in between. Or as I like to say, in the bedroom, in the boardroom, and beyond. Let's talk. Why do we need to talk? What happens to you when you hear those four little words, we need to talk? Whether they come from your partner, your boss, your employees, or your neighbor, if you're like me, you start dialoguing with yourself, and it sounds something like this. What's wrong? What did I do wrong? Am I in trouble? How much trouble am I in? Well, I don't care anyway. They can go to hell. Sound familiar? I do it all the time. And we can have those conversations with ourselves all day long, but sadly, they do little more than raise our stress hormones and send our nervous system into overdrive. And my typical response to that involves chocolate or wine. Maybe we fear needing to talk because we don't do it enough to actually enjoy and want to talk. By the way, one of my favorite themes is the paradox of having to do what we don't want to get to what we do want. You'll hear this a bit more in our time together. More to come on ways that fears are some of our best friends. But for now, we need to work on getting over our fear of having to talk and make talking through things more of our norm. It's not necessarily easy, but it's well worth it. Learning how to have and even embrace difficult conversations is the key to our relationship growth at home and in the office. Why? Because we are always communicating. We cannot not communicate, so we might as well get good at it. Something that most couples in my therapy practice tell me is that they aren't communicating. And I hear the same thing from business clients regarding team members and colleagues. I have to remind my clients and myself too that everything we do or don't do says something. When we come home from work and slip down into the basement without greeting our spouse, we are communicating. When we slip off to bed and hope our partner doesn't notice and doesn't follow, we are communicating. When we storm through the house angrily slamming doors, we are communicating. When we're looking at our phones and not our partner's face, we're communicating. When we avoid walking by the offices of certain colleagues or staff members, again, we're communicating. When we show up with cinnamon rolls for our performance review, we're communicating. What we aren't doing is talking. We aren't asking for the things we need or want that would make us feel more fulfilled. We aren't sharing the feelings that are driving our upsets and slamming these doors. And we're not pulling information on purpose or out of spite. We aren't trying to hold our partners advice or exclude our colleagues. Most of us are shouting for connection and the desire to work together in the best ways that we know how, but we're afraid. We're afraid if we have the conversations we need to have that we may find our partner doesn't want to meet our needs or doesn't love us anymore. We're afraid of the uncomfortable feelings that might come up if we address the behavior of our colleagues. We're afraid that our ideas might not be good enough, so we throw in a batch of baked goods. Or sometimes we just screw up and cinnamon rolls are our ticket out of the doghouse. I don't know. So if all behavior is communication, then talking is one behavior we can use to make ourselves more clear. It's not the only tool. We can't ignore the impact of nonverbal communication, but that makes talking all the more important as a way of clarifying what we assume all those nonverbals mean. I actually had to tell my husband that my door slamming and foot stomping were not just artifacts of my upbringing. They actually mean I'm pissed off and need some attention. Who doesn't know that? So we do need to talk. But why is this podcast about talking in the bedroom, in the boardroom, and in between? Because life really boils down to relationships, and the foundation of relationships is communication. Hopefully, we say and do different things with our partner, our colleagues, our bosses, and our kids. But what do they all have in common? They're people. Pesky, perfectly imperfect people who have feelings, thoughts, wants, and needs. We can't live without them, and we really shouldn't live in fear of talking with them. Unique as we each are, we all share basic common needs and desires. Top among them include feeling heard, feeling confident, and feeling connected. And much as we sometimes try to avoid it, it is through talking that we can meet our needs and our relationships can flourish. And that's what I value and why I get up excited to go to work every day. I get to help people strengthen their relationships, and they get to help me strengthen mine. Whether they are in my therapy office for couples counseling, hoping to recreate the happiness of earlier times and avoid the pain of separation or divorce, or if I'm in the offices of my business clients, helping them navigate barriers to greater success, it comes down to relationship building. And I'm excited to build new relationships with you and learn from you and share the lessons that my clients teach me about life, love, and leadership. Please join me weekly. Sometimes it will just be me sharing my own lessons learned, and sometimes it will include colleagues, friends, and clients who are willing to talk about talking. And if any of you ever want to join me and talk through a relationship issue, let me know in the comments. I'd love to talk more. Till next time, go talk.